other person live with me, I wouldn't make it. I got 2 kids, affordable, what's affordable, I can't get on the list. How many lists am I supposed to be on? How many lists? But you say that we have these resources. Stop lying. Stop lying. Because I know people personally. I've gone through your steps just to see if the thing works. It doesn't work. I've made the phone calls, and I know the people in charge. But because it's me, those you don't like, and trust me, I understand. You're going to take care of those, the 2%, because 98% of Northers did not vote for this administration in 22. 2%. So that 2% that's kissing your behinds or fondling or holding or jerking or whatever they're doing, you take care of them. But you wanted these jobs. You want this. And I understand it because I had some experiences recently that I don't want to help anybody ever again. Because it just was awful, broke my heart. But that's not my call. I'm God's servant. But it's different for me. I don't get paid for this. You do. You wanted these jobs. Y'all lied, cheated, manipulated, stole, threatened people to get these positions. We didn't put you here. You wanted it. Do your job. We are out here, we are working, we're protecting one another, we're policing our own neighborhoods, but yet we get disrespected. I can't get parking decals because you don't like me. But then you're going to stop event parking for a whole section? And then you get in your feelings, Silva, because initially, I'll give you 6 months in the parking lot, until we figure this out. Then the 6 months went to 4. Then when you found yourself on the recall list, you put yourself there, the people in the community who were willing to put you on the home to the East Ward because this guy's really going to do something. After 2 months, you deflated and gave in.
The question is, do they have the power to make these type of changes that the people are asking for? As far as housing authority, the buildings that they stick people in, rebuilding the type of buildings, getting better doors, more security. Do they have the power to speak
for
on
housing? The housing authority is separate from the city. It's its own private entity.
No, I know that, but say if I go up and I speak about how there's apartments anymore that need revamping, as far as it was a situation basically where my neighbor, her door got kicked out, she had a kid. So situations like that, getting better doors that's more secure, to where it doesn't take 2 kicks on the door to knock it off.
They'll make the property owner make the change and stick it to us. Whoever owns the property has to make those changes. If it's private property, they can't do anything about it. If it's public property,
what about with school education?
Yeah, they can make the recommendations to the superintendent.
Damian Williams. Damian Williams. Not appearing. Evie Stewart.
Dang it, I wish I was a guy. I would go up as him. Okay, this is the part Palestine.
My name is Evie Stewart, and I'm the business executive here today in favor of the ceasefire resolution. First, thank everybody that came out today. I know that this is a very uncomfortable position to be in, right? For myself and for you guys, right? Why I say
Can y'all hear her?
because it takes a lot of sacrifice, right? To go up against a system that is designed to keep us complacent, right? And to keep us in check. It's 2024, and I never believed that I would be in a position where I would have to have conversations with people that I love, I respect, and I care about speaking up for people who are being massacred, the children who are being starved, who are being forced to eat hay and cattle feed. I never thought that I would be watching children being indiscriminately killed, right?
If y'all don't know what she's talking about the war that's going on in Israel.
People that I know who are in positions of leadership to please say something, right? I'm not okay, right? I'm not okay. I have not been okay for some time. I've been following this for a while. It's been years. I understand that you guys have paid your dues to be, right? And I respect that because it takes a lot. And again, I respect you for not wanting to take away from that one issue. And rightfully so, right? They're valid how they feel. But we all, right? We all have tough choices to make in life, and you know, none of us are exempt from error, right? But again, we have choices. I'm asking that you guys support the ceasefire resolution. I want to see an end to the bloodshed that's taking place in Palestine, but not just in Palestine. I'm here to talk about Palestine today. But the reason that's extremely important to me is because I realized for some time, that they share a common denominator, right? The bad actors that are affecting the people of Palestine are also affecting the livelihood and the condition of living and the right to live for other people in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Somalia and Sudan, and other places across the globe. I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your voice. I'm asking you to please use your resources to do something to help. I have my 10-year-old daughter here with me today, right? If it was her that was being starved, if it was her that was being tortured, if it was my family that was being murdered, and you guys are watching, and somebody else asked me to help, like, would you help? I'm just asking for help. I'm just asking for you to do something to stop this, like it's not right.
A lot of people gonna speak out because of you.
CNC manages multiple affordable low-income properties in the city of New York, Georgia King Village, New York. We understand that Georgia King has been at the forefront of this council on multiple occasions, and we felt that it was important to come before our residents, our community, and this council to reassure them of our continued commitment and efforts to improve their quality.
You have an amazing mother.
I hear the passion in this room tonight from this community. And we are an example. We are an example of the commitment of this council and of this administration. A year ago, our leadership team was in front of this council on multiple occasions. We were in court with corporate counsel on multiple occasions because they listen to you and they hear you and they follow this council. We were committed over a year ago to improving the quality of life of our residents. We put together an action plan that we implemented and executed swiftly. We were able to address over 300 violations that had been issued to the property. We were able to make additional changes to some of the services that our residents deserve, including changes to our excavation team. We brought in a new security company. We were able to add some additional staff to be able to address those very serious and very real issues that our residents and our community brought to us. Have we stopped? Are we done? No. We understand that it's a long-term commitment, a progressive commitment, and a consistent commitment. And we are up for the challenge because these residents and this city of North, this community, they deserve it. And we also have with us today additional support, additional members of our leadership team, including our superintendent, our management, to speak directly to our residents, to let you know that we are committed and we will continue to work together. Will we have challenges? Will there be missteps? Absolutely. I give you an example. Unfortunately, a little over a week ago, our towers at King Village, well, 200 and 250, were subject to an act of vandalism that was actually perpetrated by a resident or family member of a resident that lives in the department. Of course, we worked with local law enforcement, we worked with the police department, the local inspectors to do that investigation to hold those people responsible. But we also put together an action plan to address the issue so that we don't have to deal with that again. Also, we our tenants don't have to deal with that again, where their mail services are either insecure or disrupted. We would have been able to make some kind of repairs to the mailboxes to be able to secure them for us to good. We ordered some additional material and supplies to get those things done. We made some adjustments to our security team as well, to be able to have additional coverage on those ships overnight. And we also worked with the United States Postal Service, which we submitted our application last week for the mod agreement to be able to install bread and I know there have been some concerns and some feedback from some of our residents here tonight about just our overall efforts. And this council knows that our residents are local. They deserve this safe space to come to you, to their administration, and other city advocates to share the things that they are experiencing. And we know that that was very real last year. But we also noticed that list has substantially decreased. Council meeting after council meeting after council meeting. And I do think that speaks to our efforts and our commitment to the ongoing change and ongoing impact that it does. And when we have challenges, we, of course, as an organization of the landlord, we have to balance enforcing policies and procedures to ensure that our residents are safe and are secure and are comfortable. But it's also important to balance community organizing, especially our we had an opportunity with our councilman, not only just to update him on what was going on with the mailbox situation, but also to engage him and ask for assistance and make some really good suggestions on how we can be collaborative with the city, working with office violence and prevention, and some additional outreach groups. We currently work with the street team, but also working with organizations like Accountability and Direction to really be able to impact her. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thomas, for your comments.
Whoa, who was that? He was standing beside me. Handsome young thing.
Family has been in the city for 20 years. I have 10 years in the city of Newark, and crime has gone up in feet. I'm here on behalf of my neighbors on Lake Street, 2nd and Avenue. I'm seeking help to amend the ordinance, section 23, semicolon 5-14 echo, parking 2023 traffic and parking of the revised general ordinance of the City of Newark, New Jersey, 2000, as amended and supplemented by adding Lake Street between 2nd Avenue and Abington to the existing permitted parking only designated. Madam President, in 2013, this council, by Councilman Ramos and Councilman Gonzalez, passed a resolution for Ridge Street to have residential parking. The reason why I'm here is because I've spoken with all of my neighbors. We have had house break-ins, vehicles stolen, catalytic converters are not being stolen in front of our house. It's a safety concern, it's a security concern. We also have people parking with large vehicles, or commercial vehicles with regular plates. They're parking very close to our entrance. So you guys know Lake Street is it's a high traffic road. We cannot exit our homes safely. I have been a victim of that. My wife lost a vehicle, really bad accident, had a total loss coming out of our home. I've spoken with everybody in my block, and they all have had near misses. So I'm only here seeking help with my council members and my neighbors to help me in amend this ordinance if possible. The second issue I'm bringing up today is there was a class of 86 firefighters that went into academy. As you see in the city here, there were only 6 blacks. I believe that is a problem. In terms of representation. I believe this council should be able to investigate what happened there and give answers to the people who are seeking these responses. Thank you.
Thank you so much. President Armstrong. Heather Armstrong. Good evening, Ms. Armstrong.
Now, why ain't she just sitting on the outside?
Good evening, Councilman.
No, I'm just playing.
I'm here from St. Mary's Villa. Where do I begin? Like my other resident has mentioned, there are so many ongoing issues in the building that have not been addressed since I last spoke to you in November. For example, the parking is absolutely out of control. Again, last night, I had
Yeah,
to park
everybody's talking
on
about this
the
parking.
street as a
That's why I don't got a car now.
tenant. There are
Because the
so
parking
many
is
cars
bad,
in the lot
very bad.
that do not live there and do not belong there, and management simply is not addressing it, despite us asking your assistance to get involved with them doing so. Also, I was threatened with my car being towed if I didn't update all of my paperwork to reflect the address of the building. And I'm the one who lives there, but I'm the one who gets threatened to be towed. When nobody else is getting towed, who doesn't have a sticker. When you complain, you're told that the guard can't monitor the building's entrance and the parking lot at the same time, which brings me to my other issue, the security. The security is still an ongoing issue. There are 360 units according to the building's certificate of Department of Registration filed with the Department of Community Affairs, I'm sorry. And the building is required to have at least one guard on duty 24 hours a day, per day, every 150 residential units. The fact is that there's only one guard on duty at St. Mary's, and it's a direct violation of the ordinance, and the issue with unauthorized cars in the parking lot is just one example of how residents are neglected, negatively affected. The ordinance also states that the city can fine St. Mary's Villa for every day it fails to comply with this requirement. So I'm actually considering moving, like, as soon as I can. I'm trying to get the heck out of there because things are not changing, they're just getting worse. And when I'm speaking out against the building here, I'm being harassed and retaliated against by management. The management had the nerve to say to me, "Oh, you like me now? You calling me, asking me for something now? You like me now? Well, me and you are gonna have to have some dialogue." I don't have to have dialogue with you. You don't tell me what to do. I pay my rent and I mind my business, so I don't have to have dialogue with you. Also, Mr. Dupree, Mr. Guy from Mr. Dupree, from Mr. Kelly's, from Mr. Kelly's office, reached out to me one time after I met with him, after I spoke at the last meeting, but there was nothing done, there was no follow-up beyond that conversation. So we want a meeting with Mr. Dupree Kelly himself within the next 3 weeks, please. We want consistent follow-up meetings with our councilman and his office. Until then, you and me and my fellow residents' concerns are properly addressed. We need to see that you are there for us and not only when you need our votes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk, and thank you for all comments. At this time, we'll have responses from council members and then the administration. Any responses, council members? Councilman Kelly?
She said no, please. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Council President. Yeah, I just want to thank Village King Village again for the residents coming to display to talk about the issues and concerns. And I'm glad that the management is here as well, so we can get some type of understanding between both. Said a lot of text from Ms. G. Curtin, about some of the issues, and I'm answering the new text. I take that information, I bring it back to my staff and my colleagues, and I also address it to the management from all of the issues and your concerns that you discussed, Ms. Curtin, and I bring those issues to management, and they seem to jump right on it. Every day there's still something, so the only issue that I still have, one of the main issues that I still have with management, they say they're working on it, is the elevators going down. Every day, we've been talking about this since I got in office, along with a number of things, but the main thing is that elevator. Every day I get a call, probably at 7 in the morning, when people are trying to go to work, and the elevator in one of the buildings, 200 and 250 are going down. So the management, you told me that you guys are working on that situation. I told you, you have to get it right. You can't just keep finding parts and things of that nature. You have to get it right so people won't have, displaced in the morning and getting to work late and things of that nature. With the St. Mary's Villa, I met with management after Ms. Armstrong came the first time. I met with management, and I had a discussion with them that I would call it a 50-50 discussion, Ms. Armstrong. You're correct. We have some issues that we have been trying to deal with, as well as Ms. Higdon. You guys have some issues and concerns that we have to deal with. I have a meeting coming up I wanted to meet with management to see what their remedies were about parking, about a lot of different things, and as you said, they haven't really come with a remedy, and we wanted to give them some time, maybe 30 days to rectify some of the situations, but I'm hearing that they haven't really been rectified. So we have a meeting coming up, and the residents of the building will be notified of when that meeting will take place, so we can have all of those concerns from Building A, Building B, all of you guys, so we can direct to management, and I will ask for my at-large candidate, my at-large council to be in the building with me, so we can address all their concerns. We got you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody for your concerns. And somebody from my staff should have talked to me.
But one of the things I think would be helpful if we can get something from management in writing as to what has been addressed, particularly maybe on what current costs matter. You know, that elevated issue, how they been addressed, what's the timeline here? And trust me, I understand the issue. But we need to have some concrete information in terms of what has been completed. Well, what are the issues? What has been addressed? And if they haven't been addressed, what's the timeline in which to address them and resolve the issue? Because, it's important that we take care of these are our people. I want to make sure that, they don't just email. In fact, I told, Secretary the same thing. I may not respond to your email or your text message, but we do, talk about it amongst ourselves with the administration. So it's a constant issue, and, it's something that I'm really wanting us to address, and hopefully get the management and owners on board to provide us with some written information in terms of what is being addressed and resolved in that building. I also want to say some of the things with St. Mary's Villa, I believe the owners of St. Mary's Villa are the same as the ones that own Villa Victoria and Georgia Tuna Baba, et cetera. We've had council president myself, we've had meetings with the ownership building because, not to say the management isn't doing their job, but let's go to the top. And based upon particularly the last meeting we had with the ownership, they regularly provided us with emails on what on the progress of the issues that are issues that are in that building, important to about it and also Villa Victoria. So maybe a good idea that we the owner have a meeting with them. At the end of the day, they may not even know exactly what the are. You mentioned the firefighter, so that's been a large discussion amongst us, amongst the council with the administration, and talking to locals. We understand that it's an issue. We see that as an issue, and what we had in fact this morning in our pre-meeting, we had a robust conversation, I'll say, about this, and that we know we need to figure out a way to level up the playing field, shall we say. So it's something that I think is important to us. It's something that we understand diversity is important in our city. It is important for us that our police and firefighters are from our community, look like they're from our community, because they're going to service our community in a better fashion than I think others may, because they have the experience and understanding of what's going on in our community. So it's something that I think, I know that we want to address and try to find out areas where we can resolve it.
Yeah, just to for what Councilman Trump was saying, I asked management for that information, and I asked corporate counsel all the matters all the complaints that were done by PKV, and
So.
the list of what was done. So I'm asking management again, can we send that list to all of the council, and the council at large, send it to everybody of what was done that you did, what is still remaining that has to be done. If I'm not mistaken, I believe on that data it showed about 90-something% done, or 89% of it done. Yes, all of the violations that were done. So I ask that you resend that email out to all of the council so we can have that in our emails. And also, I would like to make a request, just like Councilman Crump said, for a meeting with the ownership of St. Mary's, met with management. So I would like to meet with the ownership as well concerning St. Mary's.
Me and Councilman Crump can give you the contact we set up the meetings ourselves. We meet with them regularly, we meet with our buildings once a month, when we go there. But we can give you the ownership contact, it's the same owner for the buildings that Councilman Crump mentioned. They own literally 5 senior buildings in the city of Newark, and the ownership has been very responsive to us. I mean, we do have some challenges, especially around management. We see a lot of revolving door around management, but we request to have those meetings with them, right, like, you know, with them and the residents. And the residents do as well. They have very strong tenant associations, which help as well. So we can definitely share the ownership information with you.
I appreciate that, and I think that's, since I've been in office, when I came into office, St. Mary's had a strong tenant association. And within the last year or two, there's no tenant association now that I'm hearing. So I think that might play an issue with some of the issues. So thank you.
Councilman Gonzalez?
And in that email was an opinion from the judge dismissing the case that was in front of the judge with prejudice. That means that the judge was satisfied that progress had been made. I understand, I heard you saying that there's still some issues. We would like to know what the issues are and what you're doing to resolve it.
Councilman Ramos?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to thank Ray Lord for being here. He's one of our neighbors on Lake Street. You know, his comments are on the fire division. I think have been already addressed. But the parking situation on Lake, you know, I had the opportunity to visit with him and his family. Those individuals who reside on Lake Street closer to 2nd Avenue, they definitely have significant challenges when it comes to parking. You know, the fact that the city had to eliminate parking on one side of the street between 2nd Avenue and Bloomfield Avenue added to those pressures. You know, we recently came up with, I think, a good compromise where we will allow parking on one side of Bloomfield Avenue. And I would ask through your chair and the clerk that, you know, we follow up with engineering so we can set up a meeting with the tenants in the buildings that are affected, so we can hopefully get them to start utilizing the residential parking along that one block on Bloomfield Avenue, which will help alleviate some of the concerns. Another issue that Mr. Adames raised, and it's a prevalent issue in our ward throughout the city, and came up this morning, is the prevalence of commercial vehicles on city streets, especially in residential areas. And we really need the city, through our police division, to start ticketing those individuals who park commercial vehicles overnight illegally within the city of Newark. There are hundreds of commercial vehicles, vans, trucks that are parked in the ward, especially in the Forest Hill section. And some of those individuals are repeat offenders, and you know, they're going to continue to park until the city starts ticketing. So, you know, we just ask, especially in that area on Lake where Mr. Adames lives, it's very hard to exit your driveway sometimes because you have poor visibility and you have, you know, van or truck blocking part of your access view. It can create some pretty dangerous conditions. That's it.
Duly noted, Councilman Ramos. Councilwoman Scott Roundtree?
Yes, just to piggyback, thank you, Council President, off of Councilman Crump. The meeting with the owners, I know we go to a lot of meetings. The Council President has summoned some owners to some of the buildings we've gone to, such as the senior site, when the problems were so significant that we had to ask the buffers to please be removed so we could directly speak with the owners so they could be aware. So I'm hoping that we're CC. The enlarged is not always privy to all of the information. Of course, Ms. Puritan, the chief, includes everybody. So, you know, there's a couple of people that do include all of us on blue text, and there's some issues that never make our desk. And we all have offices and we all have legislative needs. So I appreciated that. Even the board people, when they get things, even if I have to go to them, normally I would go to the board person If I get a complaint, and if I can't get to someone, if it's that emergent, I will handle it immediately myself and let them know regarding that. So every concern that has come to this microphone is prevalent. There's not one individual that I believe, because the right to speak was fought for at this microphone. So everything that is said is important. Everything that is said by its constituents is necessary for us to hear, to figure out sometimes what can we do to make sure that you don't have to keep coming back over and over again for the same issue. Some things will be repetitious, such as the concerns of GKB. Is saying that all the issues have not been addressed, which means, as Councilman Kelly has requested, we need a list. We need an update on what is actually taking place. If there's new violations, things that we don't know. The judge might have dismissed it with prejudice back then, but maybe there's some things that now have not been addressed if there's still violations. So I'm praying that we get that information as soon as possible. In regards to the young lady that spoke, she spoke of worldly issues. And we will address that later. But when you start speaking and thinking about children, Ms. Jackson spoke of right here in Newark. We have some issues right here in our city with our babies, with our children, with violence. All over the world, these things are taking place. So we have to be considerate of the fact that when a 13-year-old shoots a 13-year-old child right here in our city, and we have to address that, and then worry at the same time what's going on in the world with people that are connected to us. It's all important to us. The whole world has to be important to us, but our initial assignment is the city of Newark. And since the city of Newark has residents that are connected to all parts of the world, it's so diverse, the cultures are diverse, we have everyone in the city of Newark. So it's not a racial divide, it's not a religious divide, it's not I'm on this side or I'm on that side. It's we're on the side of the people. And when decisions are made, when it comes to the people, anyone that does not agree with peace for all, then as a faith leader, I have to take that stand. So I just want to close with that, Council President, so we move forward. Thank you so very much.
She's responding to, I believe, the woman who spoke about the ceasefire.
Phone call saying that there was low heat, not no heat, at 1060 Broad Street.
I guess to interpret what she's saying, or what she said was, you know, she understands what's going on with the war, but, and they do care, and there's things that they're doing and trying to do, but they are the council of City of Newark, so it's like, they have to also pay attention to what's going on in the city of Newark, where there's also being kids getting killed. And it's not just them worried about what's going on in Israel, but it's also what's going on around the world, and especially in Newark. I think that's what she was basically saying, just in case you guys didn't understand.
So I just want to make that clear that there was no heat, it was low heat, and the park was replaced.
And now he's talking about the apartment buildings.
We're back to normal, but it was low heat, so some apartments were 60, some apartments that it didn't affect had 70, 80, the normal temperatures, 74 I believe it was, 75, but there was an issue, and it was because of boiler, and they were waiting for parts. So I don't want you to think Ms. Jackson said no heat. No, it was low heat in the apartments, but they turned on all the boilers higher, the 3 other ones, and that created the apartments to get a lot warmer. Like I said, my staff went into approximately 80 apartments, and they were satisfied that it was warm enough, and those that weren't warm enough were provided with heaters. The second thing I wanted to talk about is Ms. Salters. So with the help of Councilman Roundtree, for 90 days last summer, I provided Ms. Salters with parking at one of the lots. It ended up costing me $750. But I said, let's do it for 90 days to try to come up with a solution that my predecessor, Councilman Amador, couldn't come up with for years. And so Councilman Roundtree and I sat down with everybody. We sat down with the administration. We sat down with engineering. We sat down with the parking authority. And for 90 days, we could not find a solution to her problem that my predecessor couldn't find a solution for years.
And I don't want people to think that we're not trying up here. We're trying, but there's certain things that we cannot do. At the end of the day, again, with Councilman Roundtree as my witness, we tried everything in our power to try to get that issue resolved, and we couldn't get it done. But we accommodated her until we could try to find a solution. But after the 90 days, we ran out of avenues to take, and we had no other recourse but to not get an opinion.
Ms. Salters, you know, Ms. Salters, you know you cannot do that. I never had that issue with you. Please. I'm sorry, Councilman Silva, did you have other comments? Okay, thank you. Councilman Gonzalez.
Madam President, in terms of building inspectors, and in terms of elevators are a big issue in the city. When was the last time, it's been an administration, a couple of administrations, that elevator has been a problem because there is no certificate on an elevator by the city. So I'm encouraging us to find a way that we can find a way that each elevator, Director of Engineering, if you could go with me, I'll take you to a town, a couple towns, in senior buildings, they have, in West New York, they have a inspection from the city of that elevator that it's good standards and accepted. So I would, if you would join me, we can follow that through. Because we can't let our seniors get in elevators that have no inspections at all. The last inspection, when an elevator here in Castle Grande was up on Prospect was in the early 70s. And we cannot allow that to continue. We need to have a inspection that is says this elevator is good standards. Because our citizens deserve that. In terms of Georgia King Village, I received your calls on Christmas, and we're concerned. And again, we need to look at what are the top code enforcement problems within the building. What is the major? And we need to deal with these things. Because I remember 20-something years ago, Georgia King Village, going there back then with Mary James, and we would have an annual field day, we would have a barbecue, and Charlie Bell and other folks would come down. You remember those days, right? And we need to go back to those days that people want to live in those conditions. Do not live in good, decent, affordable housing, but inspections and etc. Because again, that's a place that was one of the most senior buildings years ago. People would fight to get to St. Mary's. That's true. And today, it's just to hear what has been said about St. Mary's, it's just hurting because, again, the good people who live in public housing, the people who live in affordable housing, they deserve it. And our seniors deserve that quality. So again, I like to explore that idea again back on the elevators, that every elevator throughout the city, we have to find, and listen, it'll pay itself if they have to pay a fee to get the inspection done. And we'll have every building in the city inspected with a certificate on the elevator, saying it was inspected so-and-so. Fire extinguishers, same thing with some of these buildings. They're back. I went to one building, the fire extinguisher was from 1986. So again, these are things that we may think they're not important, but they are for the quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Quintana. Any other comments from council members? Okay, seeing none from administration?
I knew he was gonna get up. He always gets
Well, I
up.
do want to say one thing, as the VA makes his way. If we can abstract the comments from Ms. Maxson regarding the reviewer and make sure we provide them to, the administration, specifically the business administrator, just to review, those items. And then lastly, I've already been talking with the, licensing department, via phone already up here regarding that smoke shop next to North Star. They haven't been open that long, as I indicated, they just opened up a couple of weeks ago. But we definitely need to look into that matter of them being open literally 10 steps from a school, 2 schools to be exact. So we'll definitely discuss that and take that offline as Ms. Aikens, mentioned during her comments. Mr. BA?
As Council President, Eric Bennett, to the Business Administrator, just a response to one comment actually with respect to the quality of the city's water. As was worded earlier, the city is.
I mean, we all know the kids gonna do what they see adults do. So
Lead service
if the adults do it, they're gonna think that it's cool for them to do it.
By and large, things are going well. The city has maintained 8 consecutive quarters of compliance with lead and copper rule, and we have no expectation that that's going to be any different going forward. The corrosion control inhibitor that has been used in each of the reservoirs has been effective.
I know she not telling her to take the sign down. She been holding up that sign for a whole half an hour, more than an hour.
Lines being replaced, but the water is protected by the corrosion control inhibitor in any event. So I think that the mischaracterization by one of the speakers that the water is unsafe.
Look at her. She instigating.
Speakers have the right to say.
She picked that camera up real fast.
Will we know that Mr. BA, thank you. Yes, Councilman Gonzalez?
The other day someone asked me if, let's say, if they think that they have a problem, can they call City Hall, the water department, to have the house inspected?
Well, not that house inspector, you have the water rules,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of the discussion this morning on the issue with the lead service line. You know, at what point will the administration be able to share more information with us as it relates to the investigation, you know, identify who the contractor was it more than one contractor? You know, I think at some point, you know, we deserve to have access to more information than what we've had so far.
Fair point. The administration hasn't indicated that there is any issue with the contractor. I think the administration's position has been because a third party who may not have complied fully with the installation of the replacement. And the investigation is not controlled by the administration. So at the point at which we are allowed to share this information.
So third party means it was someone that was contracted to do the installation, but just not by the city, correct?
Third party means it was the city and it wasn't the New Jersey DEP. So
I think it's important for us to better understand what happened, you know, so, thank you.
we will provide all the information we will have to allow to.
Any other questions for the PA, comments? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. PA. Madam Clerk, to the agenda?
Yes, Council President, Councilman, we are on page 4 of the agenda. Item 5, reports and recommendations of city officers, boards, and commissions. Council as a whole to adopt.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Item 6, ordinances. Public hearing, second reading, and final passage. 6 PSFA is an ordinance adopting